My girlfriend asked, "Can we pretend we're not together tonight? Important guys will be there, and I need to network." I said, "Sure," dropped her off at the party, then drove home. That night, I drafted her eviction notice and took back her car. When she realized, she called me screaming, "Sup, Reddit. My girlfriend of 2 years wanted me to pretend we're not together, so she looks available for the right people. Said it's important for her project. I respected her decision and stopped acting like her support system too. Grab your popcorn and enjoy the shit show. I'm Mike, 28 male. I work as a lineman for Evergy. The job pays solid, 75 grand base plus overtime that can push it past 90 if the weather's bad and the grid goes down. It's dangerous work too. The kind where you're up a pole in the middle of a storm at 3 in the morning, making sure people can keep their heat on. Tiffany thought it was cool at first. She'd bragged to her friends about dating a guy who worked with his hands, who wasn't scared of heights or voltage or 12-hour shifts in brutal conditions. That lasted about 6 months. Then she started dropping hints about how I should look into management, office work, something with normal hours and a tie. She'd say it in a way that looked like she was worried about my safety. We met 2 years ago at a barbecue joint in Westport. She was a server there, 24 years old, funny, sharp. She'd roast customers under her breath while taking their orders, and I'd catch it from my booth. Made me laugh. I left her a fat tip and my number. She texted me that night. We got food the next day. Started seeing each other after that. She was working her tail off back then. Morning shifts at the restaurant, evening shifts at a retail store in the plaza, barely making rent on a studio apartment in a rough part of town. Her car was a beat-up Honda with 200,000 miles that died every third time she tried to start it. I'd get calls at midnight asking if I could jump it, pick her up, give her a ride. I didn't mind. She was working hard, trying to make things happen. That mattered to me. 3 months in, her car finally quit for good. Transmission went. The repair quote was more than the car was worth. She broke down crying in my truck, said she didn't know how she'd get to work. I drove her to a used car lot the next day and helped her find a decent Mazda. 12 grand. Low miles. Reliable. I floated her the down payment. $2,000. She insisted on paying me back in installments. $50 a week. She actually did it for the first 2 months. Then the payment stopped. When I asked about it, she got defensive. Said money was tight. I let it slide because things between us were good. We were good. She'd cook dinner when I worked late. We'd watch movies. Go to Chiefs games. Take weekend trips to the Lake of the Ozarks. She pulled her weight. Made an effort. That's all I ever asked for. Month 8, she got let go from the restaurant. She said the manager was a creep who fired her because she wouldn't let him flirt with her. I believed her. She spent 2 weeks looking for new work, then said she needed a break. Needed to figure out what she really wanted to do. She'd been working since she was 16. Never had time to breathe. A break turned into a month. Then 3. Meanwhile, I was covering more and more. I started paying her car payment directly, $180 a month. Then I started covering her phone bill, $70. Then groceries because she was at my place most of the time anyway. Then dinners out. Then gas. The math kept creeping up, but it wasn't crazy money. Maybe $700-800 a month total. I made decent wages. I could handle it. The shift happened around month 14. Subtle at first. She stopped cooking. Said she wasn't feeling it. Stopped offering to help with anything. Stopped bringing up job applications. Started spending more time on social media. Posting photos constantly. She'd caption everything with vague inspirational quotes about manifesting your dreams and waiting for your season. Her friends started changing too. The girls she worked with at the restaurant got replaced by a new crew. Women who didn't work. Who spent their days at coffee shops taking pictures of their laptops. Who talked about personal brands and content creation and building empires. They'd come over to my apartment, drink, and spend hours talking about vision boards and energy and how they were all about to blow up on social media. Ariana was the ringleader. 26. Never had a job in her life. Lived off credit cards and her parents' guilt money. She'd show up in designer knockoffs and act like she was running some Fortune 500 company. She'd talk about her content strategy and her engagement rates like she was a CEO. She hated me from day one. I could tell. She'd make little comments. Ask Tiffany why she was wasting her potential. Suggest she could do better. Tiffany would laugh it off, but I could see the seed getting planted. I'd catch her looking at me differently after Ariana left. Like she was reassessing something. In a few months, Tiffany had completely changed. The girl who used to wake up early was now sleeping until noon. She used to budget every dollar. Now she was ordering delivery twice a day on my card. The girl who used to plan cheap weekend trips was now forwarding me links to beach resorts. Then one night, she brought up the party. Some networking thing at a rooftop bar downtown, she said. Ariana knew the guy throwing it. Some finance bro named Preston. Tiffany was excited. Said it could open doors. Help her make connections. I said I'd go with her. She seemed happy about it. Party night. We were in my truck heading downtown. She was checking her makeup in the mirror every 30 seconds. Taking selfies. We parked 2 blocks from the venue. Street parking. She didn't want to valet. Said it was too expensive. I offered to cover it. She said no. Just park here. So I did. That's when she turned to me with that look and dropped the bomb. So listen, I need to ask you something about tonight. This event is kind of a big deal for me. There's going to be some really important people there. Influencers, business owners, people who could actually help me build something real. I kept my hands on the wheel. Yeah, you told me. And the thing is, Preston specifically invited me. Like, personally invited me. Ariana says he's been asking about me. And I just think it would be better if I went in solo. Like, not as someone's girlfriend. Just as myself. Available to network. Available, I repeated. For networking, she said quickly. For connections. If I walk in attached to someone, it changes things. People don't take you as seriously if you're part of a couple. They want to feel like they're discovering you. Like you're a fresh opportunity. I looked at her. She wouldn't meet my eyes. You want me to act like we're not together? Baby, it's just for tonight. You can come in later. Separate. We'll just act like friends if anyone asks. It's not a big deal. I sat there for a moment, watching her fidget, watching her try to sell me on my own humiliation, and something just clicked. Everything became clear. Yeah, okay, I said. No problem. She blinked. Really? Really? You should definitely go in solo. I want you to get exactly what you're looking for tonight. She smiled, relieved. Thank you. You're the best. I'll text you later. She kissed my cheek, checked her lipstick one more time, got out of the truck and walked toward the venue. I waited until she disappeared around the corner. Then I started the engine and drove home. I didn't go in. That was never happening. Instead, I sat in the truck for 10 minutes running through different scenarios. I could go in there, make a scene, embarrass her in front of her new networking contacts, pull her outside and have it out right there on the sidewalk. Part of me wanted to. Part of me wanted her to feel even a little bit of what she'd just made me feel. But that would make me look crazy. That would let her spin it. He crashed my event. He's controlling. He wouldn't let me have my own career. Ariana would back her up. I'd be the villain. No. Better to let her have exactly what she asked for. Let her network. Let her see what happens when the safety net disappears. I drove back to the apartment and started making calls. First one was to Damon, my best friend since high school. He answered on the second ring. What's up? You busy? Watching the game. Why? Need your opinion on something. I told him what happened. Silence on the line. Then, you messing with me? Dead serious. Where are you right now? Home. She's at the party. I left. Good. More silence. I could hear him thinking. What are you going to do? Haven't decided yet. Probably end it. She's got her name on nothing. I'm on the lease solo. Car's in my name. I've been covering everything for months. How much we talking? Monthly? Maybe 8, 900? Phone, car payment, groceries, gas, random stuff. Adds up. Damon whistled. And she asked you to play invisible. That's the one. Man, you gotta move on this. Tonight. Before she spins some story. You know how this goes. He was right. I'd seen it happen to other guys. What do you think I should do? I looked around the apartment. 2 years of funding someone else's life while they shopped for my replacement. All right, I said. I'm doing it. Need backup? Not yet. But I might need you to stay here in a few days if she won't leave. Damon laughed. Say less. I'll bring the air horn. We hung up. I called the leasing office first. Explained the situation to the property manager. She'd dealt with this before. Told me what they needed on their end. Since Tiffany wasn't on the lease, she said the cleanest route was a written 30-day notice. After that, if she didn't leave on her own, I could file for removal through the courts. I opened my laptop and drafted the notice. Kept it straightforward. This letter serves as official notice that your permission to occupy this residence is terminated. You are required to vacate the premises within 30 days from the date below and remove all personal belongings. I printed 2 copies, dated them, signed them, one for her, one for my records. Then I checked the vehicle registration online. The car was in my name. The loan was in my name. Insurance in my name. Legally my property. I had the spare key. Simple enough. By the time Tiffany called, it was almost midnight. I let it ring. She called again. I declined. Third time I answered. Where are you? She sounded annoyed. Home. Why didn't you come in? I waited for you. Changed my mind. What do you mean you changed your mind? I've been texting you. How am I supposed to get home? Rideshare, Uber, ask one of your networking contacts. Mike, what the heck? My phone's almost dead. Come get me. Can't help you tonight. This is so immature. You're seriously gonna leave me downtown? You wanted to be solo tonight. I'm just respecting that. She started to say something else, but I hung up. Turned my phone to silent. Went to bed. Tiffany got home around 2 in the morning. I heard the door slam. Heard her stumbling around in the dark, cursing under her breath, probably trying to figure out what happened. She came into the bedroom. Mike, I pretended to be asleep. Mike, I know you're awake. I didn't move. She huffed and went to the bathroom. Water running. Cabinet doors opening and closing harder than necessary. 10 minutes later, she climbed into bed on her side. Didn't say another word. Was out cold within minutes. I waited until 8. Got up quiet. Made coffee. The apartment looked exactly the same as when she'd left for the party. I laid the notice on the kitchen counter where she'd see it first thing. Right next to her phone charger. Couldn't miss it. Couldn't miss. Then I grabbed my work bag and left for my shift. When I got home that night around 6, the apartment was a mess. Tiffany was sitting on the couch with the notice in her hand. Her eyes were red. Ariana was there too, sitting next to her. Both of them looked up when I walked in. What is this? Tiffany held up the paper. A notice to vacate. You've got 30 days. You can't kick me out. I live here. Your name's not on the lease. I can, and I am. Ariana stood up. This is illegal. You can't just evict her with no warning. 30 days is what I'm giving her. This is abuse, Ariana said. She had her phone out, recording. You're making her homeless because she wanted to network at a party. You're a controlling narcissist. Her name isn't on the lease. I've been paying her bills for 6 months while she does nothing. Last night she asked me to pretend we weren't together, so she could flirt with other men. I'm not controlling. I'm done. Ariana kept recording but didn't have a comeback. Tiffany stood up. You're really doing this? Over one night? It's not about one night. It's about 24 months of being your ATM while you figured out if you could upgrade. You figured it out. Now you can move on. I wasn't trying to upgrade. I was networking by asking me to act like I don't exist. It was strategy. Cool. Here's mine. I pulled a folded piece of paper from my pocket. This is written notice that you no longer have permission to use the Mazda. I'll be getting it back tomorrow morning. Her face went white. You can't take my car. It's not your car. It never was. Check the paperwork. Ariana jumped in. That's theft. It's my property. I'm just taking back what's mine. Tiffany started crying. Real tears this time. Mike, please, please don't do this. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I wasn't thinking. I'll make it right. Just don't kick me out. Don't take the car. I need it for job interviews. Oh, what job interviews? She stopped. I've been applying. Where? Different places. Online. Name one. Silence. That's what I thought. You've got 30 days. I suggest you spend them being productive. I walked past them into the bedroom and closed the door. Locked it. I could hear them talking in low, urgent voices on the other side. Ariana's voice getting louder. Tiffany crying harder. I put in earbuds and pulled up a podcast. Drowned them out. An hour later, someone knocked. Mike, open the door. Busy. We need to talk about this. Nothing to talk about. 30 days. More knocking. Harder. Mike! I turned up the volume. They gave up eventually. I heard the apartment door open and close. Heard one set of footsteps leaving. Tiffany was still here. The next morning, I woke up early. 6 a.m. Tiffany was still asleep in the bedroom. I grabbed my keys and the spare set for the Mazda from the drawer where I kept them. Headed down to the parking garage. The car was in its usual spot. 3rd level. Under the fluorescent lights that buzzed and flickered. I unlocked it. The interior still had her stuff. Coffee cups in the holders. Receipts in the door pocket. A jacket in the back seat. I started it up. Let it warm for a minute. Then drove it to a secure lot near my buddy's shop where I store equipment sometimes. Called ahead. He was expecting me. Gave me a spot in the back corner. Covered. Protected. I parked it. Locked it. Put the keys in my pocket. Whole thing took 15 minutes. No drama. No confrontation. Just my name, my keys, my car. Caught a rideshare back to the apartment. When I walked in, Tiffany was up. Standing in the living room in yesterday's clothes looking panicked. Hair everywhere. Makeup smeared. She'd clearly just woken up and realized the car was gone. Where's the Mazda? Told you yesterday. I got it back. She stared at me, realizing I wasn't bluffing, wasn't negotiating, just enforcing boundaries. She went back to the bedroom, slammed the door. I made coffee, got ready for work. Around 9, I heard her come out. She was on the couch with her phone, eyes still puffy. She looked up at me. Can we please talk about this like adults? Sure. What's your plan for the next 30 days? I don't have a plan. I don't have anywhere to go. Better start figuring it out. Mike, I'm sorry. I really am. It was stupid. I was trying to impress people who don't matter. You can't just throw me out on the street. That's cruel. You're not on the street. You have a month, more than enough time to find a room somewhere. Get a job. Figure it out. I don't have money for a deposit. I grabbed water from the fridge and went back to the bedroom. Day 3, I called Damon. She's still here, I told him. Hasn't packed a thing. Just sits on the couch texting people. Ariana's been over twice planning something. You need someone there, Damon said. Witness. Safety. So she can't claim you threatened her or whatever story she's cooking up. You offering? I'll stay on your couch for a week or two. Help make sure everything stays documented and above board. Give me an hour. Damon showed up with a duffel bag and his gym stuff. He walked past Tiffany on the couch and dropped his bag by the door. Hey, Mike. Thanks for letting me crash for a bit. Tiffany stared at him. What is he doing here? He's staying here for a while. There's no room. He'll use the couch. I'm using the couch. Then use the bedroom. That's where most people sleep anyway. She grabbed her phone and went to the bedroom. Slammed the door. Damon settled in. He was just there. Present. A witness to everything that happened. He'd work out in the morning. Take up some space in the kitchen meal prepping. Watch TV. Exist. But him being there changed everything. Tiffany couldn't corner me alone. Couldn't cry or manipulate without someone else seeing it. Couldn't make up stories about what I said or did because there was always a witness. Couldn't claim I was threatening her or controlling her when Damon was right there seeing me go about my normal life. He was protection, documentation, insurance against whatever story she might try to spin later. Ariana hated it immediately. Tiffany tried to coexist at first. She'd come out in the morning and Damon would be on the couch. She'd try to use the kitchen and he'd be making breakfast. Normal roommate stuff. But him being there made everything awkward for her. She'd ask him to keep it down. He'd comply. She'd complain about him taking up space. He'd offer to coordinate schedules. She felt like a guest in a place she'd been treating as hers. One morning, she ordered delivery. Damon commented, "Another $40 on takeout? Mind your business." Just saying. That adds up fast. She retreated to the bedroom mad. Damon would look at me and shrug. Point made without being aggressive about it. Day 5, she tried a different approach. Came out in the morning, acting friendly. Offered to make Damon breakfast. He declined. Said he had a very specific macro plan. She offered to clean up his gym stuff. He said he liked it where it was. She finally snapped, "Why are you being like this?" Like what? Hostile, rude. I'm not being hostile, I'm just living my life. You're the one who has a problem with it. You're trying to make me uncomfortable. I'm trying to exist in my friend's apartment. You're the temporary roommate here. Not me. I'm not temporary. I'm his girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend, Damon corrected. She looked at me. I didn't disagree. That night, I came home from work to find Ariana in the apartment. She was sitting on the couch next to Tiffany. Damon was in the kitchen making a protein shake that smelled like gym socks and sadness. "We need to talk," Ariana said when she saw me. "No, we don't." "Yes, we do." "Yes, we..." "This situation is unacceptable. You're harassing her. You're creating a hostile living environment. You brought your friend here specifically to torment her. That's illegal. It's my apartment. I can have whoever I want here. Not if the intent is to harass. The intent is to have my friend stay with me. If that makes her uncomfortable, she's welcome to leave early. Otherwise, she's got 25 days left." Ariana stood up. "You're such a jerk. You know that? Tiffany loved you. She was building a life with you. And you're throwing her away because she wanted to pursue her career. Her career is sitting on my couch spending my money while pretending to be an influencer. That's a hobby I was funding. She was creating content. She was creating debt." Damon snorted from the kitchen. Ariana shot him a look. He raised his protein shake in a mock toast. "This is pointless," Ariana said. "Come on, let's go. You don't need to stay here and be disrespected. Where am I supposed to go?" "My place. You can crash on my couch until you figure something out." Tiffany looked at me, waiting for me to tell her not to go. To change my mind, I didn't. She grabbed her purse and followed Ariana out. The door slammed hard enough to rattle the frame. Damon came out of the kitchen. "Think she's actually leaving?" "Nope. She'll be back tonight. Ariana's place is tiny and her parents are there. She's not staying long. How long we playing this game?" "However long it takes." He nodded. "I'm staying a while then." Tiffany came back 4 hours later. Didn't say anything. just went straight to the bedroom and locked the door. I could hear her on the phone, talking to someone. Probably Ariana running support. Over the next week, Damon and I lived normally. We'd have a couple guys over to watch a game. I'd cook at whatever hour worked for my shift schedule. Tiffany tried different things. Being silent, being nice, offering to help around the apartment. None of it changed the countdown. She had days remaining and nowhere to go. She'd ask why I couldn't just forgive her and move on. I'd just reference the notice. 20 days left. 19. 18. Ariana started showing up more. She'd arrive unannounced and stay for hours. The two of them would sit in the bedroom with the door closed, having loud conversations clearly meant for us to hear. He's a psychopath. This is what abusers do. I just don't understand how he could do this. Damon would turn up his music. After a week of this, things got worse. Day 12, I came home from work to find Ariana in the kitchen cooking, using my groceries, my pans, my stove. She had her phone propped up on the counter, recording, making some kind of content about supporting friends through hard times. "What are you doing?" I asked. She didn't stop stirring whatever was in the pan. "Making dinner for Tiffany. She needs to eat. She hasn't had a real meal in days because you won't let her use the kitchen." "That's not true. She's welcome to use the kitchen anytime. She just chooses not to. Because your friend is always in here taking up all the space. It's his space to take up. He lives here, she doesn't. She does live here. Not for much longer. And those are my groceries you're using. I don't remember giving you permission." Ariana turned off the burner, crossed her arms. "Oh my gosh! You're gonna deny her food now? That's abuse. That's my money, my groceries. You want to feed her? Bring your own food. This is insane. You're controlling every aspect of her life. Where she can go, what she can eat, who can visit her. This is textbook abuse." Damon appeared from the hallway. He'd been in the bedroom, probably heard the whole thing. "Hey, you gotta go." "Excuse me?" "Mike's place. Mike's rules. You're not on the lease. You're not invited. You're using his food without permission. That's theft. Leave. I'm here supporting my friend." "Cool. Do it somewhere else. Preferably somewhere that's not private property where you're trespassing." Ariana looked at Tiffany, who had come out of the bedroom. Hair a mess. She'd been in there for days. "Are you hearing this? They're ganging up on me." "Tiff doesn't get to invite people anymore," I said. "She's not a resident. She's serving out a notice period. No guests. That's the rule. You can't do that." "I can, and I am." I pulled out my phone. "You've got 2 minutes to leave or I'm calling the cops for trespassing." Ariana grabbed her purse. "You're pathetic, both of you." She left. Tiffany followed her out into the hallway. I could hear them talking. Ariana's voice getting higher. They were both gone. "Think that's the last we see of Ariana?" Damon asked. "Not a chance." I was right. She was back the next day. I was at work when Damon texted me. Ariana showed up with a guy. Says he's her lawyer brother. Wants to discuss Tiffany's rights. Tell him to email me. I'm not discussing anything without documentation. 10 minutes later, I got an email from an account called ariana.anderson.legal. The message was 3 paragraphs of legal jargon about tenant rights and constructive eviction and hostile environments. Big words, no substance. It referenced cases that didn't exist and laws that didn't apply. It looked like someone had Googled eviction defense letter and copy-pasted the first result without reading it. It ended with a demand that I rescind the notice and allow Tiffany to remain in the apartment indefinitely. Also demanded I remove Damon from the premises immediately, pay Tiffany's moving expenses when she decided to leave on her own terms, and reimburse her for emotional distress. The distress amount? $50,000. I forwarded it to a buddy who actually is a lawyer, works in family law. He called me 20 minutes later laughing so hard. "This is the worst fake legal letter I've ever seen. Whoever wrote this watched too many TV shows. None of this holds up. The cases they cited don't exist. The laws they referenced are completely misapplied. And demanding 50 grand for emotional distress? In what universe? So I can ignore it? Completely. Actually, you could probably report whoever sent this for practicing law without a license. But that seems like more trouble than it's worth." Agreed. I replied to the email with one line. "Tiffany has 18 days remaining on the written notice I served. After that, I'm moving forward through the proper process. Any further contact from non-licensed individuals pretending to provide legal counsel will be reported to the state bar." She didn't email back, but that night she was back at the apartment. This time with Tiffany and a whole new energy. "We're not leaving," Ariana announced when I walked in. She was sitting on my couch like she owned it. "You want her out? You're gonna have to physically remove her, and then we're pressing charges. For what? Assault. Battery. Whatever we can make stick. Damon came out of the bedroom. He'd been napping. He looked at Ariana, then at Tiffany. Oh, good. You're back. I was worried you'd found somewhere better to crash. We're not leaving, Tiffany said. She had her arms crossed, trying to look tough. This is my home. You can't make me go. 16 days, I said. Then it becomes an official removal through the courts. Good luck with that, Ariana said. We'll make this so expensive and time-consuming you'll give up. Okay. I went to the kitchen, made a sandwich. Damon turned on the TV. We watched a show. Ariana and Tiffany sat on the other couch whispering and plotting. After an hour, they left. They're bluffing, Damon said. Ariana's trying to play tough, but she's got nothing. She's not even a lawyer. She's just loud. I know. How much longer can you deal with this? However long it takes. I'm not the one who needs to be somewhere. Day 15. Tiffany stopped leaving the bedroom. She'd ordered an air mattress online and set it up in there. Had groceries delivered, stayed in there for days at a time. The bedroom became her bunker. Damon found it hilarious. She's literally camping out in a bedroom she doesn't own. This is wild. She's waiting for me to cave. Day 18. Ariana showed up with reinforcements. 3 of Tiffany's other friends. Girls I'd met once or twice at group dinners I'd paid for. They filed into the apartment like they were staging an intervention, like they'd planned this, coordinated it. They all looked ready for battle. Damon was on the couch playing video games, headset on, talking to people online. He paused when they walked in, took off the headset, looked at me, looked at them, put the headset back on, kept playing. One of them, a girl named Carmen, stepped forward. She had her phone out, recording, already building content. We are here to document the abuse, she said, like she was reading from a script. Tiffany has been living in fear. You've created an unsafe environment. You've denied her basic necessities. You've brought in outside people specifically to torment her. We're witnesses. We're documenting everything. This is going to be seen. Witnesses to what? I asked. This. She gestured around the apartment. All of this. The hostile environment, the harassment, the abuse. Everything I've done is within my rights as the sole leaseholder. You took her car. My car. Legally mine. Damon stood up. He'd heard enough. Let me break this down. Mike paid for everything for 2 years. Tiffany contributed nothing. Now she's mad the free ride ended. That's consequences. If she feels harassed, she can leave. Carmen kept recording. We're gonna post this. Everyone needs to see what kind of person you are. Go for it. They weren't expecting that. The recording stopped. You're gonna regret this, Ariana said. When everyone sees what you've done, how you treated her, you're gonna be canceled. Damon laughed. Canceled by WHO? Your 900 bot followers? Yeah, man, Mike's really worried about that. Ariana's face went red. She grabbed her phone. Come on, we're leaving. This is a waste of time. The crew filed out. Tiffany stayed in the bedroom. Didn't even come out to defend herself. That night I heard her on the phone, crying. She was talking to her mom. I caught pieces through the door. I don't know what to do. I don't have anywhere to go. He's really kicking me out. I thought he was bluffing, but he's not. He served me papers. His friend is living here making everything impossible. I can't even use the bathroom without him being in there first. Mom, I don't have any money. I can't afford anything. Can I come home? A long pause. I could imagine her mom's response. The disappointment. The I told you so. I know I messed up, but I didn't think he'd do this. I thought we'd fight and make up and figure it out like we always do. Another pause. Longer this time. No, I get it. You don't have room. It's okay. I'm not asking to move in permanently. Just for a few weeks while I figure something out. More silence. Okay. I'll figure it out. Thanks anyway. She hung up. Heard something hit the wall. Her phone probably. Heard her moving around the room. Opening drawers. Closing them. Finally packing. Really packing this time. I felt nothing. No satisfaction. No guilt. Just the quiet certainty that she'd done this to herself. The next morning I woke up to find her in the kitchen. She looked terrible. She'd been up all night. Trembling hands. She was making coffee, but her hands were shaking so bad. I'm gonna stay with Carmen for a while, she said, defeated, until I can figure something out. She said I can sleep on her couch for a few weeks. Okay. Can I take some of the kitchen stuff? No. She nodded. Didn't argue. What about the TV in the bedroom? Mine. The sheets? I bought them. She was grasping, looking for anything she could take. 2 years of living here and she owned almost nothing. Just clothes, some makeup, random personal items. Everything else was mine. I'm sorry, she said finally. I made a mistake. And I get why you're doing this. I do. But I never thought you'd actually go through with it. I thought you loved me too much to follow through. That's the problem, I said. She didn't have an answer for that. Just stood there looking at the floor, at her feet, at the coffee grounds she'd spilled. She went back to the bedroom, started hauling trash bags full of clothes to the door, made 3 trips, her entire life packed into garbage bags. Damon helped her carry the last few bags down to Ariana's car. Not because he felt bad, just because it would get her out faster, speed up the process. I watched from the window, saw her loading bags into the trunk, into the back seat, saw Ariana standing there offering moral support, probably already planning how to spin this story. When she was done, she stood by the door with everything she owned in garbage bags. I'll need the Mazda to move my stuff, she said. No. Mike, please, just for today. I'll bring it right back. No. It stays with me. Ariana's car is downstairs. Figure it out. She looked at me one more time, waiting for me to soften. I didn't. She left. Door closing behind her. No slam. Damon flopped on the couch. Finally. I walked through the apartment. It felt bigger, quieter, empty in a good way. Her stuff was gone. The chaos was gone. I had my space back. 2 days after Tiffany moved out, I got a voicemail from her mom. Mike, this is Helena. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for how things went. She told me what happened, what she asked you to do. That was wrong. You were good to her, and she took advantage. You didn't deserve that. Helena was decent to me. She actually respected me, and always told me how grateful she was that Tiffany found a guy like me. So I replied with one message. It's all right, Helena. I just don't want more drama, please. I hope she'll find whatever she's looking for. The next week was quiet. I changed the locks. Damon moved back to his place. The apartment felt normal again. I was at the grocery store 2 weeks later when I ran into Carmen. She saw me and froze, then walked over. Hey. She grabbed some apples. How's Tiffany doing? I asked. She's okay. Got a job at a call center. Moved into a house with 4 roommates. That's good. Carmen looked uncomfortable. Look, I was there that day because Ariana asked me to come. But after seeing what was really going on, I felt bad. Tiffany admitted she asked you to pretend you weren't together. She just thought you'd never follow through. Everyone thinks that until they're holding the notice. Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm sorry I showed up. Should have asked more questions. We stood there awkwardly. She asks about you sometimes, Carmen said. Wants to know if you're seeing anyone. I think she thought you'd come back. That's not happening. I figured. She headed toward checkout. Take care, Mike. 3 weeks after that, I was at a Chiefs game with Damon and some guys from work, eating overpriced stadium food, yelling at the refs. I was getting food when I saw her. Tiffany, 3 sections over, with Ariana and some guy, taking selfies. She saw me. We locked eyes for 3 seconds. I nodded. Kept walking. No anger. I got back to my seat. Damon noticed. You good? Damon handed me a drink. We clinked cans and watched the game. That night, I drove home to my apartment. Made dinner. Went to bed early. Life had returned to normal. The good kind, where you're not constantly managing someone else's chaos. I thought about that moment in the truck, how humiliating it should have felt. Instead, it showed me exactly what I was worth to her. I wasn't the villain. I was just a guy who knew his worth and refused to accept less. Guys, we are so close to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps hit that 100,000 mark. Thanks for making this dream come true.